back in black. What is up? Hey. What is up, this dick? What is up with it? What is up? We are back in black. This is no I don't know, because nigga, we don't know over here. We just trying to figure it out. Hey, don't give me the rapping on this motherfucker. Hey, Tasha, what's going on? I see you. Hey, I'm gonna be like, hey, yo, bitch, give me my money, bitch. Nah, I ain't gonna say those jokes. Shout out to all the motherfucking finessers out there and all the motherfuckers sitting around not doing what the fuck they need to do to survive. Hey, and shout out to everybody that's trying to make it do what it do. Hey, you know me, drinking that sea moss. I'm about to start slanging sea moss too, by the way. Shit. Straight up. All y'all that don't know, better go get you some almond milk, some fruit, and some sea moss. Hey. So shout out to everybody that's handling business, doing what the fuck they need to do at that clown ass corporate plantation and shit. So I'm telling you, man, every day is gonna teach you something. And shout out to all the motherfucking people that are goddamn raiders and shit. But the Clark County School District is last in education in the United States of America. This is the only place I know a nigga can make $80,000 and a teacher only make $30,000 a year. Hey. 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 Shout out to everybody that's not finessing, but figuring out how they gonna pay their bills, pay their electric bill and their gas bill, because that shit is not going away. And fuck a goddamn Cox cable with they bullshitting ass. I was talking about they fixing on the tower or some shit. So shout out to motherfuckers that's really handling business and paying that high ass goddamn Cox cable. Motherfucker want to charge an arm and a leg for some goddamn internet. Man, anytime a motherfucker finds a niche, they gonna capitalize off of it. So shout out to motherfuckers that's handling business. And shout out to give yourselves a hand. Give yourselves a hand. Shout out to everybody that's you know, all my ladies that's out there that's trying to slang some pussy hole over the internet. Now you ain't got to work to all the motherfucking shit now. Now you can just go to the bar and slang that shit. But if you need some help auctioning off that pussy, just call me. I got you. Hey. And shout out to all the motherfuckers that ain't trying to finesse, but really trying to earn a living the right way. Whether it's slanging dick, slanging pussy hole, or just working a good old-fashioned job at the corporate plantation, you already know what it is. Hey, and shout out, one more shout out. I gotta give a shout out to all y'all that will argue a nigga down over Jesus, aka Cesare Borgia, but won't even tell your family members to go pick up Black Labor White Wealth or Powernomics to go read it so they can fight this anti-black racism war that's going on. So shout out to y'all niggas too. Shout out to all the Sambos, Coons, telling about the Gunline Boss, Uncle Tom, motherfucking Steven from Django, Hayward Shepherd ass niggas. Hey. You know what I'm saying? I just thought I'd put on some hype music, because, you know, I'm awaiting this decision on Breonna Taylor, see if they gonna charge these race soldiers, which I know they not, and I hope that the power and spirit of Ogun comes down and seeks and destroys. Let us draw on the power of Jean-Jacques Dessalines. And if you know anything about Jean-Jacques Dessalines, that nigga didn't play that bullshit. That nigga was an eye for an eye. You kill 5,000 of my men, I kill 10,000 Frenchmen. Facts. That's why Haiti is the poorest country in the world and the most hated and most, I would say, revered country in the world, because the Haitian Revolution, 1804, go get that DVD. Shout out to Tariq for giving us all that game. Hey, y'all gotta give props where props is due. Stop hating. As Master P would say, hey, get God in your life. If a lot of y'all people ain't got God in your life, you get God in your life, you be all right. Shout out to Master P. I want some noodles too. That's a hustle. Shout out to everybody that's teaching their kids to be like LeBron James. And shout out, I want to get a special shout out to all my black parents that's teaching their kids to aspire to be like Dame Dash or Master P. Facts. And I'm talking about business smarts. Because Master P and Dame Dash ain't got to smile and yuck with a nigga to get that bread. So shout out to everybody that's out there doing that. Hey, let me cut this shit down. My hype music. Hey, but you know what we here to talk about, the state of emergency. That's why I gotta play this hype music. Hey, man, there's so much shit going on. But hey, we about to get right into it. It's so funny how, see, they already know, the mayor, the FBI, they already know that none of those officers. So they already declaring the state of emergency. And you're kind of agitating the crowd, agitating the black folk too, because you're basically telling everybody, well, we're not gonna find them guilty. So we're gonna close down everything. That's why businesses are boarding up and closing down. Good, shut the shit down. I hope they bring Ogun, Jean-Jacques Dessalines, Dirty Bookman. Should have said that prayer. Because in that prayer, he says, their God asked them to commit crimes against us. That ain't no just and fair God. That's why they give you Cesare Borgia to go pray to while they in the back studying Ifa and fucking and getting voodoo priestess and shit, study voodoo and all this our ancient shit. If anybody got the time on Amazon Prime, Jaimin Hansu, he did a documentary on voodoo. Very, very good documentary. You got to really, really watch and pay attention to it. Very, very good. And he was just talking about how they've deemed voodoo and voodoo bad and all, and it's not really bad. I'm telling you, man, I've been saying that shit ever since. I've probably been saying that for a long time. But after watching 1804, I really understood it. The reason why I was saying it, let me just break it down to you. The reason why I was saying it, because in high school, I took this comparative religions class in high school. And this comparative religions class, they had a whole bunch of fucking religions in there. They had voodoo. We was studying all kinds of shit. And I remember it was a white teacher, and he basically broke it down just like, no, he kind of was breaking a lot of shit down. Like, basically he said this to me. He said, scary to people when they have no knowledge of that religion. Then you're scared, and when you're scared, you're gonna think negatively about that religion. And that's a fact. But I think it's just going on. And we have to understand that. And we can't play this game like, oh, well, that's a bad religion and all that. No, it's not bad. We just been socialized that it's bad. And that's the problem. So we just go with it because we've been socialized that the shit is bad. But it's not really bad at all. It's not bad. Nothing is bad. Nothing is bad about it. I think that we've been socialized that it's bad. Now they saying it's not received. Man, shit, if I have to start this stream over, then I'll start over. But they bullshit now, man. For real. Now I'm getting real. This shit is getting real bothersome with this motherfucking YouTube shit, man. For real. I gotta get. That's why I wish we could just stream direct to consumer and not even through YouTube and not even deal with this shit. Because it's always something. Oh, we're not getting enough frames. We're not getting. It's always something with them. Especially when you're talking about real shit. I noticed that like the last podcast, they just cut me off. I don't know if people saw that. They just cut my shit off. I was talking, they just cut the shit off. And I was like, damn, man, what the fuck? Man, for real. Hey, let me. Man, the fuck? But anyway, man, I'm telling you right now, man, y'all motherfuckers better be prepared because the shit don't stop at just what everybody think it stop at. You have to understand what this is like. If they can tell people it's a state of emergency, then they can tell you that, oh, well, we already know what the decision is, and we just gonna go with it. So with that being said, we gotta understand what the fuck it is. We gotta know like why they tell us that. They tell us that for a reason. Let me see. It says YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth stream as such. Yeah, they sure did. I noticed that. Yeah, they cut the shit off. And then the streaming software that I have, that should be bullshitting too, man. So it's like, that's why I'm like, I see, if they do that to me, I can only imagine what they be doing to other people. They be doing that shit to a lot of YouTube channels I be watching. Like, when it get good, the shit start buffering and shit, and have you thinking it's your phone, and really it ain't your phone, and it ain't their software, it's really their streaming software. So, you know, a lot of that shit has to do with that. But, like I said, we about to get into it. And I I'm gonna tell you this. I'm trying to find some video. I'm gonna play several videos and see what they say. One of them is about John Mattingly, officer involved in Breonna Taylor's shooting, sends candid email to LMPD colleagues. So let's see what he said.
Say goodbye to summer inventory.
No, we can say goodbye to that clown ass commercial, man. The fuck out of here, nigga.
Mattingly says he wants the email to be read in full context. In it, he starts by addressing who he writes is the LMPD family. At first telling officers he's sorry about the tough week they're likely to have, and aiming criticism at city and department leaders, ending his email on the same note, writing, quote, "Remember, you are just a pawn in the mayor's political game. I'm proof they do not care about you or your family, and you are replaceable."
Ooh.
In between, Mattingly referred to some protesters as, quote, thugs.
Exactly. See, this is exactly what I've been saying. Thug is the new nigga. The protesters are thugs. So that's basically just calling you a nigga. That's all that's why he put that in that email, talking about, we'll read the whole thing and keep it in context. See, this is what the dominant white society is saying about black folk when we're not around. So when all your motherfucking so-called allies is marching, whining, and repeating with y'all, you tell them, you really want to be an ally? Tell us what's not being said. Tell us what's being said about us when we're not in the room. Like Dr. Francis Cress Welsing says. Tell us what they really saying about us. Tell us the truth and put their ass on blast and be like, well, why don't you tell you what you really say about black people? Don't just hide behind Black Lives Matter and all that. That's easy. Black Lives Matter is as easy as all these dominant white society Democrats, aka Democrats, talking about Trump as a bad man. That's how easy it is. Let's deflect to Donald Trump. Like he's the boogie man. Like Joe Biden is just such an angel. That's the shit that I'm talking about. So if that's a person that's worked for the police department writing these type of emails, throwing the fucking mayor under the bus and everybody else and talking shit about the goddamn protesters, then what the fuck you think they're gonna do when it come time to charge them? Law enforcement and the judicial system work hand in hand. If y'all don't know, you don't need to read no book to know that. You should already know that by now. They work hand in hand. So if you're thinking that they're going to come out with a decision that's going to place those officers under arrest and make it where they doing time, y'all motherfuckers, then y'all must don't know Breonna Taylor is not white. She is black. So that's not going to happen with her. That's not even going to happen. They don't even care. That's why they gave them that bread. They gave them that bread so niggas could just go away. This is the largest settlement. Now, where the fuck is Lee Merritt and Benjamin Crump at now? Where the fuck are they at? Where are all these people at? You know, they just brokered the deal for the $12 million. Now they asses is skip to Malou My Darling out the fucking way. E-zone down in the road type shit with Michael Jackson and Diana Ross. Motherfucking Wiz and shit. While we sitting up here waiting for the officers to be charged, and you still ain't gonna charge those officers because you don't care. I already know what they gonna do. We gotta stop letting these ambulance chasers hype the scorn and torn family of the loved ones that they lost and to just take the settlement and going about your way. No, motherfucker, sometimes it ain't about just the bread. It's about holding these officers accountable. Because like Daniel Prue's brother said, if you go kill a motherfucking police officer, they putting you up under the motherfucking jail. And that's a fact.
And they will, quote, throw bricks, bottles, and urine on officers and will get in your face and yell, curse, and degrade you. LMPD leaders asked about the email in that line specifically at a press conference Tuesday.
Right, that's a situation that's currently developing. It's simply too premature at this time to talk about it.
Mattingly goes on to state, quote, it's sad how the good guys are demonized and criminals are...
The good guys? Nigga, ain't no good guys. Man.
Canonized. We as police do not care if you are black, white, Hispanic, Asian, what you identify as this week. We aren't better than anyone. This is not an us against society.
No, nice try. We don't care what you identify with. Stop it. Stop acting like you don't see color. You know what the fuck color is. You know what it is when you see an African-American or a melanated person. You know to distinguish the difference between a melanated person and everyone else. Stop playing games, man. Y'all know what the fuck it is. That's just wordplay and trickery. And that's as Dr. Clyde Anderson teaches, a broad and ambiguous term, naming all those other races. Well, then if that's the case, then why ain't no Asians getting their asses shot the fuck up? If that's the case, then where the goddamn Latinos and why they ain't getting shot the fuck up? Man, stop it. Y'all know what the fuck is going on. So stop playing the games. They know what's going on. That's why he wrote the email. That's why he said what he said.
But it is good versus evil. You can read the full email in this story at wave3.com. In Louisville, Mike Fussell, Wave 3 News.
Man, stop it with the bullshit, man. And that's just one of them I'm going to play. That's why I said, wow. Wow. When I see that shit, I said, wow. That's why now I want to see, because now they talk about it's a state of emergency. So let's get to the next one since it's such a goddamn state of emergency. And Greg Fisher, I want to, where's the state of emergency at? That's why I'm like, okay, since it's a state of emergency, let's see if we can find some footage and see what they say about this state of emergency. I'm very interested to see what they speak on. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, wow. And to me, y'all got to read between the lines. Yeah, they know. They know niggas is going to be like, this some bullshit. They know that. So that's why they like, oh, well, it's a state of emergency. Board up your businesses and shit. Stop that shit. So here, hold on. Now I'm about to play something else. Let me cut this shit off so we can play this shit so y'all can hear exactly what it is.
Well, Kentucky is under a state of emergency, awaiting a major announcement in the Breonna Taylor case. She was shot and killed by police in her home in March. Kentucky's attorney general is expected to announce whether criminal charges will be brought against 3 officers. CBS's Jerika Duncan is in a very tense Louisville tonight. Jerika?
Good evening. We're here in downtown Louisville. You can see the barricades, the fencing, and even the boarded up city.
Man, they done boarded up the shit. Because they know they about to, look, they're about to let these officers walk away. These race soldiers is about to walk away, and they know it. So that's why they kind of like, they're using the media to kind of put it out there. Like, well, this is what it is. And then basically to tell businesses, board up your shit because they getting ready to tear your shit up. That's what they doing. That's a dog whistle. That's what they doing. And then, oh, well, I hope you got insurance on your property because you're going to cash in because they going to tear your shit up. They know what they doing. They know exactly what they doing. Why do people think that they're going to change or reverse it? Look, these are the same people that enslaved you for 450 years. You've been in this country since 1492. We've been in this country way before 1492. And fuck a goddamn Christopher Columbus. But I'm just saying, since they have enslaved us in this country, why does everyone think those laws were written to keep us behind the 8 ball, to keep us behind the line? And they were written in favor for the people that look like them. And they were written for every other racial group that comes here. That's why every other racial group, with the exception of native foundational black folk, they can come here and prosper. All these other racial groups, in my personal perspective, that can come here and open up a business and do their thing. And I'm not hating on them. But do not try to liken your struggle to ours. And I'm tired of these Italians and everyone else giving us these chicken shit stories about how their family came here from Sicily with nothing and they built a family business off the backs of black labor. That's what they did. So you got to keep that shit in mind.
Nora, this was not the case last week. With each passing day, the mood is no doubt changing. The city has basically been shut down with government buildings and businesses either closed or boarded up. Police say they want to make this area as safe as possible. All of this comes as we wait to see whether the 3 officers being investigated by the Kentucky Attorney General's office will face charges in the shooting death of Breonna Taylor. The fatal shooting, as you may recall, happened on March 13th. Police raided Taylor's apartment. She was shot multiple times. These crime scene photos show parts of her apartment complex that were just riddled with bullets. Late today, Breonna Taylor's mother posted a very short statement saying, "Dear Breonna, justice is coming." The Kentucky Attorney General here, Daniel Cameron, is expected to first speak with Breonna Taylor's mother before making any public announcement. Nora?
Jerika Duncan, thank you.
Yeah, because that's some bullshit. That's why. Shit, that's some motherfucking bullshit. I don't want to hear that shit. Man. So that, after you heard that should tell you what it is. That should tell you. That should fucking tell you all you need to know. You should know nothing else. You shouldn't need to know nothing else. Oh, it's a state of emergency and we're tearing everything up. And man, stop, man, stop. That shit's ridiculous. Stop with the bullshit, man. And you notice look, what trips me out the most about it is they ain't even talk about it on CNN. They too busy worried about Joe Biden. And then he talk about how his son was sick and all that. Man, sorry right now, man. We don't give a fuck about none of that shit. Stop acting like if it wasn't for Obamacare. First of all, y'all get free health care. Stop it. Them senators and congressmen, they don't pay for no motherfucking health care. That shit is free. It's just people don't know that shit. That shit is free. How is it the people that get it for free make the decisions for you? They should have to pay like everybody else. And these congressmen and senators, they should have to work fucking 9-to-5 jobs like every fucking body else. And they shouldn't be able to accept any lobbyist money from no one. They just have to go build their own fucking wealth the only way that they know how. And not getting lobbying and then they pushing a certain agenda. Look how greedy these white folks are when the pandemic first got. You know how many fucking congressmen and senators was stealing money off the stock market, selling all their shares and buying shares of Citrix, the shit that to work from home, the fucking internet shit and the Zoom type shit. You don't think these senators, these white people, look, let me tell you something. If you ain't learned from Lori Loughlin, then you ain't learned. If you ain't learned from Aunt Becky, then I don't know what the fuck you got going on. If you're not cheating, you're not fucking winning. And for them to lock us out of competition, get a 450-year head start, and then talking about you got Obama, and it's I don't see race anymore, that's a whole bunch of bullshit. And for us to really think that these race soldiers are going to be punished, these race soldiers ain't about to be punished for none of this shit. None of them. They all dominant white society motherfuckers. They probably all racist. One of them wrote a letter to everybody. Oh, we don't stop playing with the whole, it doesn't matter what you identify with this week. I mean, what the fuck? Nigga, black people always identify with black. We can't identify with nothing else. Even if you Nigerian, you could be like, well, I'm Nigerian. A race soldier, they're going to be like, okay, nigga, you Nigerian. Bang, bang, you dead. Gun. The fuck? But that's what they do. And don't think that shit is gonna ever change, because it's never going to fucking change. Ever. The motherfucker's like, oh, it's gonna change. No, it's never gonna change. It's never gonna change. Why is it never gonna change? Because why would they change it? Because it would be in favor for us and not for them. So why would they change it for? They're not gonna change it. And you like, well, yeah, no, they not. I don't care how many people marching and whining with you and talking about Black Lives Matter. They don't give a fuck about it. They can wear all the shirts they want. The NBA can put on the clown ass shirts and jerseys and shit and talk about racial and social justice. You know that they go from racial to social justice. No, let's talk about racism, white supremacy. Because there's so many other niggas like Jason Williams from ESPN, the nigga that played at Duke, that ass kissing, boot licking, Sambo telling about the gun line ass Hayward Shepherd ass nigga. Man, fuck that nigga, man. And that's the problem. It's too many of those motherfuckers. That's what the problem is. Now I see why Dirty Bookman and Mac and Dahlman was like, we need to kill the coons first. Because what the fuck are y'all doing? Just like they got this show, this John Brown show that's on Showtime or whatever, but they got a young nigga with a fucking dress on running around like he was his helper. Nigga, what? They always gotta do some type of shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, that's the shit that trips me out about the whole thing. Now they want to declare a state of emergency. And the thing that kind of makes me laugh the most is, I'm like, okay, so you want to have a state of emergency. Okay, all right. But the first question I would ask them is, okay, if you want to have a state of emergency, then you already know what the decision is that you're going to make. No, because they too busy trying to put Andrew fucking Gillum in your fucking face and talk about his bussy brigades and all that. Like, no, look, man, do what you do, man. Good for you. God damn, man, we got bigger fish to fry. Like frying fucking Vlad TV for his culture vulture having ass. See, that's the problem. That's the problem. And shout out to Lord Jamar and shout out to Godfrey, man, for taking a stand. And they did it as men. Like, we talked to him. He said he didn't want to apologize, so we just can't fuck with you no more. We got to be on code with our people. That's what Nearly Fuller Jr. talks about. We don't have a code. You have to have a code of conduct. The white Jewish community does. You fuck with one Jew, you're fucking with them all. That's the problem. And there's too many black people that want to be police officers. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you couldn't think of nothing else to do but want to be a police officer? And then in your mind, you probably, and I know what they done told you. Oh, well, you're gonna do some good in your neighborhood. Yeah, right. They're not even gonna put you in your neighborhood. They gonna put you around a whole bunch of white people, and you're gonna be too afraid to shoot or arrest any of them white people, because you're gonna have that fear behind doing any of that because it's their system, straight up. That's why they can make up anything and say anything about most black folk, and other white people will believe it. Go read the book Slavery by Another Name by Douglas Blackman. That's why they was able to still, after Abraham Lincoln so-called freed the slaves, white people didn't know what the fuck to do. They never worked or cultivated the land or built anything. They was too busy watching the slaves do it. So they like, what the fuck? So they had to come up with new and improved ways to usher black folks back into slavery, but just call it something else. That's why the prisoner pipeline. That's why they're like, oh, well, that's why a nigga could walk up to you and be like, nigga, you owe me money. You'd be like, no, sir, I don't even know you. Yeah, you do. And a nigga could go get the goddamn magistrate, basically a judge, and tell the judge he owed me $100. And $100 back in that day in the antebellum period was like $1,000, $5,000, $10,000. No, I don't owe. Well, to me, you do. Guilty, nigga. So you got to go work on this goddamn fucking farm for 10 years. Now you can't even see your family no more. And they better not come around because they might put his ass out there too. And they might find your kids and your family guilty. That's why it's called sundown towns. Man, come on, man. But for some sort of reason, the dominant society forgets all that shit. That shit goes all out the window. It's like it don't even matter. If you look, just read some of the laws. Just read some of the Constitution and the Bill of Rights and all that shit and all that trickery and wordplay. All that legal jargon and shit that they know is all it's gonna do is confuse a motherfucker. Really what you need to do is just go to somebody that can break that shit down. They gonna tell you it's a bunch of bullshit. All of it is. Thomas Jefferson, Madison, George Washington. Need I tell y'all again, George Washington used to be ripping the slaves' teeth out and making dentures for himself. Cause he was too busy fucking looking like nose to chin and having gummies because he didn't have no motherfucking teeths. So he was ripping them out of the black slaves and making goddamn dentures with them and shit. They don't tell you about that shit though. But we supposed to praise and honor this motherfucker. Talking about George Washington would never tell a lie. Nigga, stop it. What the fuck kind of shit is that? And don't even get me started on Andrew Jackson. So if I can pick out 2 or 3 anti-black racist white supremacists, just imagine the rest of them that you don't know about. Imagine them. Because I'll tell you right now, these motherfuckers ain't nothing fucking nice. They don't give a fuck. They don't care. They're not here to play games with you, and they'll smile with you and march with you. But that's the extent of that. I'm going to keep telling y'all this every time. And anybody that want to argue now, send them this video. As a matter of fact, fast forward it to this part at 32 minutes. Fast forward to this part. If all these other racial groups care about black folks so much, then why are they not in favor for reparations? Because, and then when they say, oh, well, you know, I'm poor too, say, yeah, you're poor, but you also did build this country. And native foundational black Americans built this country, right? For free, right? Okay, and you gave reparations to the white Jewish community. Okay, and you gave reparations to, let's see, the Japanese for the internment camps. That was what, 2 or 3 years? Okay, the Holocaust was what, 2 or 3, 4 or 5 years? 5 million Jews? Okay, I hate to compare, but I would say when you were transporting black folks from different parts of Africa, different parts of islands, and dropping them off and bringing them here, I wonder how many people died. I wonder how many people jumped off the slave ships. So if we were just to kind of like round it up and not round it down, but we could round it down, I would say over 100 million black folks died in the transatlantic slave trade. Stop it. Just coming over here. So stop playing the bullshit games. And I'm pretty sure you killed over 150,000, 250,000 people over the first 5 years of cultivating the slavery mentality with the Africans that were already here. I know you did. Because you had to probably kill, poison. You was probably afraid and scared to death. I already know what you was doing. And then too busy probably telling other black folks that were already in the United States of America, oh, your own people sold you to us. So they don't care about you anyway. That bullshit. And then a lot of our African brothers and sisters, you never came back to get us. And you never put up a fight to even say, hey, y'all doing too much. Now, we do the slave trade shit, but y'all niggas is over there doing way too much. And then everybody watched from afar as we built the country. Now that we built it, we don't watch you give money to everybody else but to the people that already built the country that you're benefiting off of. That's why I don't ever tell anybody, don't you want to be like Jeff Bezos? Don't you want to be like Warren Buffett and Bill Gates? Man, fuck a Bill Gates and Warren Bezos, Jeff Bezos and Warren Buffett. These are white people, and this is their system. It is rigged to benefit them, not you. So you need to stop telling your kids they can be like them and tell your kids you can be like Dr. Boyce Watkins. You can be like Dr. Claude Anderson. You can be like Dr. Umar Johnson and Professor Griff and like Tariq Nasheed and like Zoe Williams and like Corey Holcomb. Those are the people that you can be like Dr. Kamene, like Dr. Professor James Smalls, Dr. John Henry Clark. That's who you should be teaching your kids to be like. You can be like Jean-Jacques Dessalines. You can be like Toussaint Louverture. That's the message that it should be portrayed, not telling you should be like somebody else. This is the thing. They get you with the whole, well, you know, religion, we got to pray and all this other stuff. The second thing you should do is question, well, who am I praying to? Because if the God doesn't look like me, I don't draw any power from it. And most people that are deaf, dumb, and blind are going to say, oh, well, God has no color and Jesus has no color. But if your Church of God in Christ Incorporated, because that is a corporation as well, go look at your Sunday school books. Go look at it from the 80s and the 90s. Just go back, go look at it. Every character that's in those Sunday school books they all look like Pau Gasol and his fucking brother are Kurt Rambis. That's how they all look. Who just happen to be Spaniards, just like Cesare Borgia, the Jesus Christ that they want you to pray to, the one that's hanging up in everybody's goddamn church. So stop it. That's the problem. That's one of the biggest problems. That's how they've been able to finesse this shit for so long. And that's why when we talk about reparations, it's like Black Lives Matter gets bigger. Black Lives Matter. Like, wait, hold on, man. Reparations. Well, Black Lives Matter. Like, wait, hold on, nigga. We know Black Lives Matter, but nigga, we need reparations to make our lives matter. If you care about us so much, like I said before, if the NBA cared about black folks so much, the LA Clippers, which is named after a ship, the Baltimore Clipper, that was a slave ship, by the way. After Donald Sterling said how he really felt and how the rest of those white Jewish people feel about niggas, why would you sell it to another white Jewish person? Why didn't you sell it to a black person? Why did you go out of your way to find a black person and say, we're selling the team to a black person to show a stand in solidarity with our black brothers and sisters because they make up 90% of our league? No, they so busy trying to find a whole bunch of white people to replace us in Africans, but you still can't do it. Because all you got to do is look at a person like LeBron James, and I know that bothers them so much. Oh, I know they hate that. Like, fuck. This is a homegrown nigga. How the fuck does he look like that? And how's he still doing it 17 years later? Oh, hey, congratulate. That's that melanin. That's that sea moss that his beautiful, lovely wife was making for him. So niggas just think I'm talking shit. Nigga, you want to tell your kid to be like LeBron? Well, go get you some sea moss and drink that. That's a motherfucking fact. And if you don't think that they want to find something on LeBron James, he doing steroids or something so bad, man, y'all motherfuckers is out y'all mind. They can't stand that nigga is in that position of where he's at right now. Trust me, they did their part getting rid of Kobe, RIP to him. Yeah, a lot of people didn't like a lot of the shit that Kobe did outside of basketball, but fuck all that. They did their part. So fuck out of here. Then now, because Kobe Bryant's wife is going after the sheriff police department in LA, the LA County Sheriff's Department, now they want to put her mom out there and have her mom doing interviews. I'm telling you, these people are wicked and evil. But motherfuckers want to still give them a chance like they really care about people. Trust me. And don't look, let's not get it twisted. I don't give a fuck how much money Kobe Bryant had. A lot of people in different racial groups, especially the Latino community, did not like that she married a nigga. Trust and believe you me. Y'all can act like it. They want to keep that shit separate because they've been socialized that they somehow some way better than us. This is the first thing that I would challenge any Latino. Okay, where are you from? Mexico. Then why do you speak Spanish? Because you're definitely not from Spain. We speak English because of the Britons who colonized the white folks that were here, and then they separated from them, and then they colonized us. That's why Nathaniel Bacon and George Washington, all them, they was trying to break away from Britain. Because Britain had the whole, the lock, stock, and barrel, lock and key on the motherfucking white people that were here, if I'm not mistaken. So we know why we speak the Queen's English, because of enslavement. But Latinos weren't enslaved like black folks, so why do you speak Spanish and not have your own dialect from Mexico? And if you really want to take it back, let's take it back a little more. You speak Spanish because Spanish comes from Spain. Well, the Moors were in Spain for hundreds of years, ruling them, teaching them. There are artifacts in Spain right now that talk and discuss the Moorish empires that were there. So, you are just a descendant of Moorish language and education. But most Latinos, they don't even know that. That's a fact. You gotta start educating people, man, with the little bit that you know. That's why reading is fundamental. Start having a conversation. I was having a conversation today at the Court Plantation. We just having a conversation. I like to listen to people's perspectives. I didn't say nothing, and they were talking about traveling and moving out of the country and traveling. I said, man, I would love to travel outside of the country. I was like, because I don't really want to see nothing within the United States. So I would love to go to like Canada, love to go to places in Egypt and, naming and stuff like that. He was like, yeah, man, well, in Italy's like the most together place to live because you get like 4-hour lunches and all this other stuff. And I just kind of was like, and I let him talk and I said, well, they should. Yeah, that's why, being in Italy is good, man. And I said, yeah, it should. After the Moors built that country, we're responsible for their education. And he was like, wait, what? And I was like, yeah, we're responsible for education. He was like, what do you mean? I said, the Moors ruled the Iberian Peninsula for 700-800 years. And they went into Sicily, they conquered Sicily and Italy. And they taught them everything they know. I said, that's why most Italians and Sicilians are bricklayers. They have the masonry art down packed. He was like, damn, you're right. I was like, that's why they know how to relate bricks. They have carpentry. Where do you think they got that from? From the Moorish. The Moorish empires that was there before them. But they'll never tell you that because they like to take all the credit for themselves as if they've done everything. And they take pride in it as we wear Givenchy and Balenciaga and Gucci and Louis and Fendi and all that other stuff. I'm not telling you not to wear the shit, but they love watching niggas wear their shit. And while you wearing their shit, they studying our shit. That's why they'll never let you into their shit because they'll never let you understand how powerful you are as a people. Why would they do that? That's not beneficial for them. So I'm telling you right now, wake up. Understand what it is. Understand it. Don't play the bullshit games. Don't think these people are your friends because they're not. You'll know when the motherfucker's really your ally because if he's really your ally, guess what he's going to be doing? He is going to be, I would say, he or she is going to be making sure they're replacing the system of racism and white supremacy and establishing a system of justice. And you like, well, what do you mean? Establishing a system of justice. So that means getting rid of the non-justice motherfuckers and the anti-black racist people that are perpetuating this systemic problem in the United States of America. That's a fact. That's why I often laugh because I'm like, I just can't believe sometimes that we go through that shit, man. I'm trying to look up this interview. With the mayor and see what he has to say. I'm trying to look up this interview with him. Greg. Let's see. His name is Greg. Let's see. Let's see what I can find on him. Let's see. I got a couple of interviews. Let's see. 3 months ago, 2 months ago. Let's see what I'm interested to see what he says. I want to know what he's saying. That's why I'm playing this, because I just want to know what he's saying. Let's look him up.
Hero.
No, yeah, but we're not doing no motherfucking commercials. Fuck out of here, nigga. This ain't NBC. Fuck out of here, nigga.
City Council now plans to investigate how the mayor responded to the deadly police shooting of Breonna Taylor.
Let's
Taylor
see
was
how
killed
he
back
responded.
in March in what her family calls a botched police raid. It added fuel to the worldwide protest against police brutality in this country. And one of the 3 officers involved has since been fired, but no criminal charges have been filed against him. That officer is appealing his firing, saying it was unjustified. Last week, we spoke with Breonna Taylor's mother, Tamika Palmer, who has now filed a wrongful death lawsuit. She was in tears talking about the support that she's received. What would be most helpful to you at this time?
To continue to say her name, like I said, we're still just in the beginning. There's still so much work to be done. So just please continue to say her name. Please continue to march and demand justice.
Louisville Mayor Greg Fisher joins us now to discuss the Breonna Taylor case. He says that he will work to implement.
And this is this is Mammy, Oprah's best friend, Mammy, the one who got Snoop in all that trouble, the dog-head bitch, you know, with the terrible goddamn set it off wig on. She's interviewing Greg Fisher on the Breonna Taylor shooting and seeing what he gonna do. You know he getting ready to bounce, rock, and roller skate and dance all around the shit.
Police reform in his new role as president of the U.S. Conference of Mayors. This is an interview that you'll see only on CBS this morning. And Mayor Fisher, we thank you for joining us today. You've got a lot going on, a lot to discuss. Let's start with the Breonna Taylor case. So 1 officer has been fired, 2 others have not been fired. Are you satisfied where things stand in that case right now?
Well, good morning, Gail. Thanks for having me. The guiding principle throughout Breonna Taylor's tragedy has been get to the truth, get to the truth. I've asked the Attorney General, the FBI, the U.S. Attorney to be involved to make sure that no matter what the outcome, the truth comes out. So where the case is right now is with the Attorney General, Daniel Cameron. He will be deciding if any criminal charges will be filed on this case. In the meantime, we're not waiting for improvements. I signed Breonna's law into law a couple of weeks ago. That bans the use of no-knock warrants here in Louisville. It also
You already had that in place. You already had that in place. Stop.
On all search warrants. So we're not waiting. Anytime we have an improvement opportunity, we swing into that. That's what the U.S. Conference of Mayors will be doing also as we look at broader police reform around the country.
What I tell you about police reform?
You're right. We all want the truth. You're absolutely right about that. And 1 officer has been fired. And I think Breonna Taylor's mother and people who are very upset about her death want the other 2 officers to be fired. What do you think? I know we're all looking into the thing, but you are the mayor of the city. Your opinion matters.
Well, what's important is the truth, and that's why all these different agencies are looking at this. I'm actually precluded by state law, believe it or not, which I would really like to see changed, KRS 67C, from commenting further on this case while it's investigation. But that's why you want the FBI and you want the Attorney General and you want the...
Yeah, basically, we want. Look, we're gonna get the FBI and everybody out here because you know they're gonna really help us get to the bottom of it. Y'all niggas know what it is. Y'all already know what the fuck is going on. So stop with the bullshit, man. You know what it is. No, but look at who is talking. A dominant white society motherfucker who could fucking. He's probably mad that they did it the way they did it. Like, damn, man, you should have killed both of them. That's what he probably thinking. But somebody lived to tell it and called 911 and be like, hey, man, they just started shooting. My girlfriend is not breathing. And I'm pretty sure that mayor's made just like Rahm Emanuel. Oh, you know, our white Jewish ally that was running with Obama and hid the Laquan McDonald video because he wanted to be reelected. You know, Obama's homeboy. You know, because Obama did so much for black folk. Fuck out of here.
U.S. Attorney, and now it's with the Attorney General here in the state of Kentucky to determine what the next steps are going to be.
What was your personal reaction when you first heard about the circumstances of Breonna Taylor's death? What did you think about the actions of your police department?
Yeah, let's see what you thought.
Well, you're distraught. I mean, I have kids that are about the age, not kids, but young adults about the same age as...
But your kids are not black, though.
Breonna Taylor, and you put yourself in the position of Breonna's...
You can never put yourself in the position of a black person when we've been here well over the 450 years, but we've been enslaved for 450 years. Redlined, gentrified, lynched, Jim Crow. Stop. Stop with the bullshit. You see? He probably should have said, I could never imagine what they're going through. And that's why we need to change it, because the majority of our law enforcement officers, they don't understand this. And this is exactly why but you're going to be on call with them. which goes to the case of Vlad TV and everyone else. Stop fucking with that motherfucker. He don't give a fuck. He don't care. That's why he felt like, well, I stand on my position. I ain't apologizing to the minister. So then fuck you then. And what really need to happen, a motherfucker need to really run up on him on some real shit and be like, oh, you don't want to apologize? Well, then you don't need to do that show no more. Why don't you do that show with all your white Jewish homeboys? Vladimir, Vladislav, Vlad the Impaler? No, you could never be Vlad the Impaler. Because Vlad the Impaler didn't hide behind no TV and he wasn't scared of no niggas like you are and wanted to make money off niggas. He was strong enough he wasn't scared of no Moors like you. That's why you have around, you want to do all your interviews, you make all your money off of black people. That's why it's like, man, people got to wake up, man. Stop going to these people's platforms and shit if it ain't benefiting your people in the right direction. If it's somebody from another racial group and you know their culture vulture, don't fuck with them. But I get it because people feel like, oh, well, he cool. Yeah, they cool until they not. Just listen to a person talk. When a person that's another racial group will tell black folks we don't deserve reparations, we deserve free education or some other shit, that should tell you all you need to know about those people. Most of them are dumb, deaf, blind, misinformed, uneducated, and they're anti-black racists. And that's a motherfucking fact.
And just say, you know, how would you react to something like that? And it's just a pit in your stomach. And just say, how do you move through these tragedies then as a city to improve, try to make sure something like this never happens again? It's the nature of a mayor's job that you occasionally have tragedy and then you have to move forward and try to bring your community with you at the same time. So it's certainly something that we're extraordinarily sorry about.
Yeah, a lot of people feel that way, Mr. Mayor.
Yeah.
A lot of people also wonder why it took 110 days for the city to take any action, and it was only after there were national protests following the death of George Floyd. Can you talk about why it took so long before there was any action in the case?
Absolutely. I mean, Louisville has been a leader in the release of body camera.
No, nigga. You stuttering and stuttering. Stop it, nigga. You full of shit. Y'all get the gist. Stop with the bullshit, man. Stop with the bullshit, man. I want to hear that shit.
We are still waiting for a decision.
I'm going to play another video. One more. Let's see. Because I want to see.
Louisville, Kentucky. That state's attorney general is expected to decide literally any time whether he will charge local police officers in the death of Grand Rapids native Breonna Taylor. City officials are taking precautions. They declared a state of emergency and have restricted portions of the downtown area. Community members are also getting prepared, boarding up windows in the city. Police say while there are restrictions into the city, it is not on lockdown and will still be accessible.
Every day we have dealt with this, and we try to modify our plans continuously.
Another white police officer.
And what you're seeing now is a sign of that. You know, the first time was sudden. It was very spontaneous. In the community, we've all heard the rumors. We all know something is coming. We don't know what it is. It's unknown.
Stop lying. Y'all all know what it is. Because if y'all didn't know, then why the fuck are y'all boarding everything up? Come on, man. Stop. You just told us right there.
To all of us. And quite frankly, we hope that all of this is simply not needed, that it will be a peaceful situation.
Taylor was shot and killed by police during a no-knock warrant at her home in Louisville in March. Out of the 3 officers involved, only 1 has been fired.
Exactly.
We are still waiting.
So why didn't you fire all of them? Stop. Hey, man. I just thought I'd hit y'all up, man. I'm telling y'all, look, wake up. Understand, these people don't give a fuck. You just heard the mayor, stuttering Stanley, get up there and don't know what the fuck he talking about and talking about all this other shit. And we've been the first, man. Y'all niggas been the first motherfucker. Y'all been the first motherfuckers to serve a no-knock warrant and knock and kill a black woman unarmed with no justification. And then why don't y'all just look? This is how arrogant anti-black racists are. These suspected white supremacists are. They don't even want to retire or quit. At least that black brother in Rochester was like, you know what, I'm going to just go ahead and retire. And then they was like, no, we'll do you one better, nigga. You're fired. These white boys is like, well, nigga, you fired him. That's on him. You going to have to fire us. But they know, well, this is my system and all my other white brothers and sisters going to stand up in our behalf. So that's why they like, well, fuck it, we ain't quitting. That's exactly why all these other officers is like, well, shit, they getting away with it. Why the fuck we can't get away with it? So let that be a lesson to everybody. That's why they trying to put out there. And then what irritated me about all this shit that's going on, they trying to throw everything at you. Oh, well, look, the Emmys, all these black people want. I could give a motherfucker about an Emmy, man. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. And then fuck a goddamn Raiders game too. Fuck them niggas too. These motherfuckers don't give a look. Clark County School District is last in education in the United States of fucking America, incorporated. But they niggas will jump around for some goddamn Raiders and be mad at the teachers when the teachers put their hands on your kids or fucking one of your kids. Then you mad. Now you like, oh, this is bull. Now you wanna get all the lawyers and attorneys and call Contact 13 and all this other shit. And, oh, I can't believe y'all would have my kids around. Well, nigga, you pay for what you get. Remember that. You pay for what you get. So you go to the dealership and they come driving you a goddamn clunker, a lemon, because you trying to save money. And then when the motherfucker break down, you can't call the dealership and be like, hey, my shit broke down. No, all those motherfucking parents, as many people as out here that deal with the Clark County School District, they should have been out there protesting all that shit. They should have been like, man, what the fuck you mean it's gonna bring job? Man, fuck a job to Vegas. Now check this out. The goddamn stadium is done being built. It's done. Where are the fucking jobs at? Because I know MGM has laid off people. McCarran Airport done laid off people. So where the fucking jobs at? Ain't no fucking jobs, man. That's all hype juice to get motherfuckers all up in arms and jumping around. I passed by that clown-ass stadium and seeing motherfuckers out there with their Raiders flag. I be looking at these motherfuckers. Are y'all going to be doing this shit when the shit tank? See, they ain't able to tank it the way they want because they know what the fuck people going to do. So they going to ease into this shit. Because they know people are deaf, dumb, and blind. They put all their trust and faith in sports and entertainment. That's why. That's why, like, well, fuck, you can't go to the casino and bet. Well, fuck, we got this app as long as you bet. They don't give a fuck about your well-being or your children. Y'all think Carolyn Goodman and her husband and all these other city councilmen, these people don't give a fuck about your kids' well-being? These are politicians who are paid to lie. That's why you lease or rent these motherfuckers. You don't sit up here and be like, oh, I like them. Carolyn Goodman was the main bitch on TV talking about, oh, well, you know, maybe we should do a test thing to open up. They was like, well, what's your plan? Anderson Cooper was like, well, what's your plan to open up the city? This bitch is like, I don't know. I don't get paid to do that. What the fuck are you on TV talking about it for? But this is the only place I know where a motherfucker think that they're going to replicate what Los Angeles and New York and Houston and all these major metropolitan areas. You cannot replicate that. Because in Las Vegas, Nevada, it's sex, money, and drugs out here. That's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So be expecting one of these football players to be in a scandal. Be expecting one of them to probably end up committing suicide and overdosing on some fucking drugs. And be expecting for a coach or somebody to be doing black tar heroin in the bathroom before the game starts. This is Las Vegas. And please expect them to be caught in some type of hooker scandal. Because that's all it is that goes on out here. But they got you thinking that the football team is for us. So if that's what y'all want to think, fine. If you want to think that these police officers are going to be held accountable, good. But don't be surprised when they're not held accountable and that decision come out that they're not charging nobody. Just be expecting it. Because that's what I'm expecting. Because I don't ever put my trust in a system that has enslaved us for 450 years and have not tried to repair or have any type of recompense in their heart to rewrite their wrong and move the black economic base. Not even one iota. They don't even want to do that. They rather give you free education so you can be re-enslaved back into their system than give you money so you can go do your own thing. And it ain't giving nothing because this is money that is deserving of black folk because us building the country for free. Black labor equals white wealth, and don't you ever motherfucking forget it, man. And if you sitting walking around here talking about Black Lives Matter and let motherfuckers take over the whole goddamn movement, that's a sucker ass move too. If all you sucker ass niggas think that you gonna go vote, that you a sucker motherfucker too and you a goofy. Cause voting ain't gonna do shit but keep you still locked and boxed out of the wealth and keep you behind the line, nigga. And if you out here samboing and cooning, guilty, nigga. Hey man, this is No I Don't Know TV. I'm out. Peace.